It is day 1 of the brand new box for Rush Duel, but also the final day of the season, so I thought, you know what, we've got to go in King of Games with a brand new deck with Gaia, but we're playing heroes in a build inspired by Mono 6 over on Duel Links mana. They hit King of Games. I thought, you know what, we'll try it out. Went on 14 win streak, into 2 4 win streaks in our rank up game, and so it is a really fun deck that works out surprisingly well with the brand new skill, new box cards, and of course the big campaign, giving a free Gaia structure deck, which is really cool. And so we've kind of splashed together 2 different deck types in a way that somehow works. We're playing 3 copies of the brand new Gaia, 1 of the Fusion, which is really cool for ending the games, 2 of the new Swift Gaia, which can do piercing. You've got 2 of the brand new Hero Fusion, plus 1 of the OG playing Wingman. This can come up, and can win games. There's some people that are going to cut this entirely, just 2 of them plus 3 Gaia, but this has won me some games. It's been real clutch. Now the big thing is the brand new skill, Chivalrous Celerity, which does give you access to polymerization from your deck, plus a vanilla, plus dump some vanilla from the graveyard, meaning you can go into, say, your Curse of Dragon, you play the skill, you dump another Curse of Dragon or another hero body, you then add to your hand the other hero body plus a polymerization, you can play Star Restart to get more back, or just go for the fusion play, or go for another Gaia. There are so many lines with the deck, but there are some problems. First of all, you're seeing a lot of Gaia on ladder, which means a lot of piercing, which means things like your Flute and your Torero aren't really the best plays to go into events mode, but this can set up piercing, and so I do quite like it, but it is a bit risky. You're very reliant on the skill or seeing this Gaia, and so in normal heroes, right, you've got the skill can such a fusion, but with this, you don't really have that, aside from once per duel, getting you poly. And so a lot of times you can see the hero side of the deck, and not see a poly, or a fusion, or a Gaia card to kind of kickstart your combo off, and so it does clash in some ways, but also it's really synergistic, it's really fun, got some replays, let's dive right in. So we've got 10 replays to go through for my entire climb from Silver 4 all the way to King Games, and we're going first on this one. This one I think is actually a really big OTK play. We're going first, and unfortunately we whiffed all of our mills on our Argent, so I decided, you know what, I'm not going to risk it, set 3 pass is fine. They do the same, but now we can go again. Mill 1, Mill 2, Mill 3, and Mill 4. Now here, I didn't actually add the Avion, and I don't know why, but it's fine, right? It's fine. We go Fusion, in for the brand new Burst Wingman, can go pop back row, buff himself up. We'll play the Gaia to fusion into the brand new Gaia that pops a back row, Gaia Conqueror of Champions. We can then play the effect to go and pop 1 back row, and then, again, polymerization with the Gaias in hand to make another copy of the Burst Wingman, popping all 3 back row in 1 turn, meaning an easy OTK play. There's 2, there's 3, on to game number 2. So this one was versus Pyro, probably going to be a loner deck. Let's see who's next. And so we've got a Cyber Dragon player on Zwydra, of course, playing the Archive skill. Now, Zwydra got the new Rush Dragon, but I don't think they played in this one. We're going second. I've not actually seen Rush Dragon be played yet, which is really weird. But let's see, opening hand-wise is fine. We have access to our skill, of course, but no real fusion play just yet. So this is what happens. There's our Avion. We've now got it. In for the Curse of Dragon. Gonna play our skill, milling the Bacentrix, adding the polymerization to our hand. We'll then play Poly. In for the brand new Burst Wingman. We can play the effect, nuke the back row, and then go for Star Restart. We're just gonna get some attacks in. Right, that's not too bad against Cyber Dragon. Now, they could get Twin Dragon. They could go for End Dragon. But no going for Assault Dragon. Gonna go and pop on new fusion, which is kind of annoying. And they are going to give us a full board clear. Attacking 1, attacking 2. Top deck situation. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Here comes the Flute, reviving the Cursed Dragon. In for the Gaia. Gaia effect milling. Always milling the legend, unfortunately. In for the brand new fusion. We've got, again, the Conqueror of Champions. Going to be popping that back row. Or not. Or do we not go, do we go for the direct attack? No, we do. Okay, we do. In for the Argent. And here, could hopefully get us access to another load of heroes. Now, what we can do, we're going to summon them, sack them off for our Gaia, and go for fusion play number 2. In for the second brand of fusion, the Swift Gaia. Can do piercing, we don't need it, we're going to get a draw off. What happens? Attacking 2, attacking 3 times, there is game, on to game number 3. So we've got a Maddox who is playing the brand new Pyro deck. I'm not sure if it's going to be a loner or not, we'll have to see what their sleeves kind of say. I believe that is the giveaway tell if they're playing their own sleeves, and of course they've invested, which they are. Okay, let's see what happens, So, going second on a set 5 pass. This field is not very good. Right, we swing in, and with both of them. It's not looking so hot. Fiery Blaze coming down, of course, hitting negate attack. And then going for the double tribute, the brand new Salamander boss monster. This card is really cool. It's a bit underwhelming overall, but it can just debuff all your opponent's guys by a bunch of damage. And they combine it with a skill, and you can choose it out. It's really, really cool. Again, having the Fire Blaze, so can go for a second pop, which they're going to go for. And they hit, of course, Fusion. We can recover it, so that's fine. Clearing our board a bit is perfectly okay. And we've drawn really, really well. In for the brand new Gaia, playing the skill to dump, adding back the Poly and the Avian, going for the brand new Fusion again, the Burst Wingman. We do summon the actual Wingman at some point, but gonna go in, pop a back row, pop in the Buffered Slime is always great. Playing the Gaia again to go for the Swift Gaia, gonna set the star restart, gonna mill, and we get a Buffered Slime. That is absolutely massive, but Maddox can make a comeback with Ember. Ember summoning out this big boy is crazy, plus a debuff, and then they have this one to give you a 1,000 point deficit. Can be the thing that determines games. It can just be that. But can they clear our board? Let's see. 1 and 2 they can do. Okay. Potentially final turn. In for the Argent. Gonna be milling 1, 2, 3, hitting Avian, 4. Okay. We got 2. That's what we wanted. In for star restart. Bring it back, adding back the Fusion. And gonna go for the guy here. Because we've got a second one, of course, in for the Fusion play. Now, I believe here we go for the Flame Wingman, OG coming down, playing the skill again, Dump Curse Dragon, doing the Gaia, in for the Swift Gaia, and of course we give it piercing, get a draw 1. We're gonna swing in into the little Fireboy there, deal some more damage to the Flame Wingman. We've kind of guaranteed it, but no, we're going for the Salamander, dealing burn damage for the win. On to game number 4, I think it is. So we've got a Luke, who the cover card for the deck was Ancient Gear Golem, so it might be Cyber Dragon, it might be aggro, I cannot remember, but we're going second again. So let's see, Cyber Dragon going first is not great. It's usually Ancient Gear Pass, and so we might see it. But we don't. It's set 3. Going for the Gaia, so we're just going to go for a bit of a Pierce, I think. No, we're also, okay, no, yeah, it's just going to be Pierce, right? 100% going for the Swift Gaia. Now, the fun thing is, you can draw into the fusion materials, right? With this free draw off this Gaia. It's happened so many times, so you've kind of gone all in, you set your back row, and you think, you know what, my turn's done. But no, it's not. They are playing dragons with Ancient Gear Golem. So, I expect in this replay we see the Dragister, I believe we do. There's a few where we do. It might be this one. Going to be coming down, of course. And here comes down the dragon. In for fusion. In for the Dragister F, of course, getting multiple attacks off. Can do piercing, wants to, but no. Gonna go to 39. It's a chunk of damage. Adding back the fusion. I'm setting it face down. But no, negate attack. The best card of Rush saves us, of course. In for the Gaia. Again, going for the fusion play. It's fairly straightforward now. In for the Conqueror. Which can get rid of back row. Which we're gonna do. Now, you don't always want to go for that Gaia super early, right? It is kind of a game ender. Early on in Rush Duels, you're going to be just attacking in and try and deal damage. You don't really care about the back row because most people on the negate attack. And so, if it was a widespread, then fair enough. But it doesn't matter. We summon 3 fusions, we're attacking for game, we go to game 5. And so it's another Luke. This might be dragons. This card was blank this time, so it could be dragons again. I know there were a few dragons today. I think that is one of the most popular lone decks because it is just kind of explosive out of the gate, right? You're summoning a big 3200 fusion, goes 39, and we're setting full passing. What are we going to do? They're going to play the Inferno, pop back row, play a second, pop the second back row, and they're going to go for a Dragius. So, 2 back rows moved, clearing our entire board. It is pretty standard Rush Duel, right? Against Dragius, you're expecting Hardboard to die, but can we game them on this turn? Hand-wise, not super great, but it's okay, right? We can go for the new Swift Gaia, can of course gain piercing, goes for the flute, in for the Cursed Dragon. We're going to gain a bit of a buff, right? I'm getting a bit of a draw off, that's fine, adding back the fusion, going for the Flame Wingman or the Burst Wingman summon. Okay, so once again, I believe this will be OTK. Right, just straight up Burst Wingman, gains attack points, maybe it's enough, maybe it's not, but again, milling and negate attack, leaving them on 200 points. So all we need now is a Flame Wingman burn, or a little bit of a attack point buff, and we win. So what are they going to do? Right, they're going to go for the Dragon, they're going to go for a Phoenix Dragon, adding back the Dragius, which does mean Hyper Strike Dragon, Dragistifus coming down. And so, or is it? Yep, okay, yep. I remember correctly. It's coming down and is going to attack multiple bodies. Now, they can't clear the entire board, which is good for us, right? It's good for us because we could just play the skill and win there. We don't need to. Star Restart, in for the fusion play for the Burst Wingman. Gonna pop the back row, swing in. You don't need to overthink it. Just to win the game on the spot. But we're still gonna, gain attack points. They're gonna scoop onto game number 6, maybe? I don't know. And it's another Luke. What a surprise! And again, it's going to be dragons. Again, dragons just so popular on ladder at the moment. Especially like at the end of the season. It's a very good deck, a very fast deck to win with. And so, I believe we're going second. Yeah, okay. So hand-wise is fine, right? Argent, hopefully seeing an Avion would be massive. We might have full combo here. It depends on the mills. Let's see. Fusion, Gaia, Star Restart. It's not really there. We can play our skill and get ourselves there. Or not. Or not. We decided not to. Because you don't have to go for the search. Or you can save Flame the Duel. It's a once per duel search on Poly and on your vanilla. And so you might want to save it, play in the duel when it's going to kind of matter. Going for 7 shift in for the Miragius. Oh, it's coming down. 2 very big dragons, but you can't use the hand effect to debuff. So it is just going to be a 3 attack in, full board clear, which is perfectly fine, right? That's we can deal with that. Probably. Maybe. We'll see. Drawing into a very good hand, Flute into the Persinatrix, playing Torero, and another one in for the Gaia. Now we're going to use the search, right? This time we'll play the skill, get the search off, in for the Conqueror Champions. Going for that back row pop at some point this turn, playing the skill, getting the Avion. We've got the Fusion face down, I believe. Yes, we do. In for the Burst Wingman, getting rid of the second back row. Going to be a Dragon's Fortune, so 2 trap cards, not too bad, clearing the field. It's a very even game. Very back and forward, you clear my board, I clear your board, both on similar life points, and they set 3 pass, meaning all we need is a way to actually go and clear 2 back row again. So we've got to sacrifice our board to go for a second fusion. We can go for 2 fusions this turn because of the Gaia. We go for the Burst Wingman. It's going to gain attack points, pop the back row. We play the Gaia. It's going to mill, of course, milling again, a really good trap card. Kind of annoying. But we've got Swift Gaia. We can go for piercing. And hopefully can game them on this moment. 32, in for 0. Okay, next game. You know, I don't remember this one. It's a meme, you don't see them often. I believe it was an archive skill, so it could be anything. But we'll see. The name is just better, but in this case, obviously I won, and so I am now just better, I guess. We'll see. Going second, and it's going to be a set 4 pass. Now, again, the Argent hopefully can get us into a good mill. We're going all the way, first of all, for the Gaia. Going to Fusion Summon into the Conqueror Champions. Using it a bit early, but that's fine. Getting the mill off, getting a Persinatrix. We now need to see an Avion. Can we do it? Mill 1, Mill 2, Mill 3, Mill 4. We get lucky. We got lucky. Into the Polarization. Once again into the Burst Wingman. We can now pop both back row. Unfortunately, no piercing, but we have increased the attack points of our Argent because our Fusion apparently killed the game. Okay, that replay was just straight fire. Just straight fire. So we've now got a mirror. Now, I know there is a mirror I lost, and it was a really, really good door, so I'm including it. I don't know if it was this one, but we'll find out, right? So, opening hand-wise is okay. We're playing the Cooling, the Scarlet Curse Dragon, to bring it back and get a draw 1. That's a really fun play I only discovered at the very end of my climb. So you can tell kind of how far we were into the climb, based on this duel. Then we're going for the Flame Wingman, though. So yeah, this is going to be the one where we lose, unfortunately, but it's such a good duel, right? It's a good duel. Going for the Poly plus the Curse Dragon, meaning in the hand is the Gaia, to go for the first of the new fusions, the piercing one, which does make sense for attacking in, 2000 damage, deal some piercing, not a good look for us, not a good look. Okay, so here I did mess up, right? I didn't have the right materials in the graveyard, so it's just kind of sat on the field as a 0 tap on body, and it's kind of dead. And it could have cost me the duel, and it may do. I can't remember. Going for the Burst Wingman into negate attack. Unfortunately, it's now there as a sitting duck, which is really, really bad. But going for the Gaia, again in front of the Fusion, in for the Conqueror, to go into that one, the back row. Unfortunately, they hit a Fusion. Good for us. in for Talismanic. Our face down, of course, is going to save us, being it is the Buffered Slime. It's going to come in clutch, attack it in. Buffered Slime. We survive the turn, but lose our entire board. But it's not over yet. Going for the Flute, in for the Gaia. Fusion Summon into the Conqueror of Champions. We can hit a back row, but we don't. In this situation, we don't, because it is better for us to swing directly. Because they can't summon a Flaming Man. If they could buff up, hit our back row. In this situation, they can't do that. So we're kind of removing options from them. That's why I want to kind of show us off, because you can, in the mirror match, at least try and stall things out, make them a bit better for you. They're going to try, and they're going to fail. And now it's my turn to break their 3 back row board. Let's see how it goes. Book of Mooning in for the Gaia. Again, going for the Fusion Summon of the Piercing Gaia. Why not? Well then, set. Go for Cursed Dragon. Can hopefully make it so there's not enough damage on board for them to lethal us. Getting Piercing in. Clearing the second one. Clearing the third one. It all comes down to this. Argent. What happens here? Mills 1. Mills Avion. Does he mill another one? He doesn't. He gets the Avion. I believe that's enough. There's Avion. There's no tricks. Fusion in for the Elemental Hero Flame Wingman. He can then go and play the skill, buff up, swing in, deal burn damage, and that's lethal. And that's why he's playing 2 of them rather than me playing 1 of them and playing the other ones, right? So your ratios are going to really depend on what feels right for you, but in that duel, 2 of them definitely won the game. Now on to another mirror match versus a Zuijo. Okay, coming up towards the end now. Gonna be in gold. Let's see, we're going first. Nice, nice, nice. What's this a hand we could play into? I'm not sure. This might be a set free pass. And it was. It was a set free pass, okay. And they are going for the... They're playing a more standard build, right? They're playing, just focusing on the Gaia stuff, right? And so, that is the way you could do as well. But I think the hero version is a little bit better, but if you're free to play, right? Then the Gaia Structure Tank with some staples is a really solid base, and can hit King Games. Right, just straight up. It's such a good thing they did. I'm surprised it was so good, and it came with the back removal and the recital as well. Going for the Burst Wingman, getting a pop-off, that's fine. Playing the skill, buffing up, getting a fusion. Unfortunately, no second Flame Wingman, but we can go for 3 fusions in this turn. 2 Gaias, right? Getting the back row pop, pop into get attack, in for the poly, in for the 3rd Gaia fusion, the Swift Gaia does piercing, and that's going to be lethal on board, I believe. Attacking in 1, 26, 26, onto the next duel. And so this is the last duel, the King of Games rank up match, and as usual, it wasn't really worthy of a King Games rank up game. It tends to happen, right? You have like these 4 win streaks, you get the last one, and it's a real grind fest and you lose. And then you'll do another one, do another 4, you go for that rank up, and you'll lose again. And then the game will reward you with a matchup that wasn't easy per se, but also it wasn't like an amazing replay, right? So going for the Elemental Fusion here, going for the Burst Wingman, of course, getting a tap point buff, getting the pop-off, and getting a full board clear is the important thing. With a bunch of setup for next turn, which is really, really nice. Now, they are on the new Pyro deck, I believe, playing the Dual Loner, so again, not the best King Games deck, right, to face, right? Going for the Fireplace, getting a pop off of the Star Restart, which is important because that would have helped us next turn, right? Given we've got the materials on our graveyard already, it would have been big. Ember in 4. For the final time, the new Salamander. We'll probably play this at some point. I need to go into the box for a 3rd time because, you know, playing Cyber Dragon or playing Heroes, it's a 2 of 1 in the box. Going for the new Salamander. In for the new Vanilla. Debuffing. Gaining a bunch of damage off on this turn. And clearing our board again. It might not be enough. Here's the Argent. Going to mill 1 in Avion. 2, 3, 4. Okay, getting Avion is fine. Do we go again? We don't. We go and bring back the Bacintrix. Play Fusion. Play the Avion. Going for the Fusion Summon once again of our Burst Wingman. Now, I believe we go again. No, Flame Wingman. Oh, okay. Sure. So, gonna try and get access to another body. Do we do it? 3, 4. Unfortunately, we don't. But it doesn't really matter. Gaia into the Cursed Dragon, into a fusion play for the Swift Gaia. Can hopefully get a draw off. And we draw into the Gaia. So it's usable, but not great. Dealing some burn damage is cool, but let's see. It's a tough board to beat. 2 big bodies, Fireblaze coming down, getting it back removed, going for the skill, adding back the Ember. Do they have access to a big body in hand? There's the Vanilla. There's Talismanic. They can deal a bunch of damage, but it's not going to be enough to kill, unfortunately. It will clear the board again, but it's not enough. But we do game them with the brand new card for the second time in the duel. Going to use the effect to attack directly with the Gaia, Conqueror of Champions, playing the skill, buffing up, going to combat, swinging in. That's the duel replays. That's my King Games climb done. See you all next video. Adios.